Well, welcome back. It's 2024. It's a cold one. I'm in the Tesla. I've just switched the heating off on these lovely hot seats. Welcome back to this one. This is all about the EV RV post that I promised just before the Christmas break. This is to blend us into 2024 because there's such a lot going on this channel this year. And one of them will be buying an EV van to convert to an RV. Or will it be the other way around? Will it be an RV converted into an EV van? Who knows? I think the first is the one we're going to go for, to create my own space instead of buying someone else's and then having it converted to an EV, junking out the diesel, junking out the gearbox and all the rest of it, which I would guess would be quite pricey. Then I've got to buy a good one to begin with. So I think we've pretty much decided that the way I'm going to do this is to jump for an electric van with as big a battery as I can buy, and then I've got a bit more range, and then convert it into an RV. So, or conversion van as some of you like to call them. I've used the phrase RV for 30 years now, well before it became standard in the UK, because I did have a lot of business in the US and I was dealing with RVs for a while. So, hey-ho, recreational vehicles, if you don't know what RV is by now, although you should do. So yes, welcome back. Now, I don't know where to start on this because I'm a bit lost to begin with. Now, I know there's going to be a load of work into this. I know my hands are going to kill me afterwards because they're not great. And I know my knees are going to start aching once I'm cutting wood and everything else and doing all the work. But if you watch this video here, you'd have seen me mention it and the things we're going to do for 2024. And I did actually mention in that I might have to pull some people in to do work on it for me on my behalf. There's no way in the world I will be able to do all of this because although I'm quite nifty with the Odans, they do ache, like I say, after a while. And there are certain bits and bobs that I want right. That is, I want the joinery to look very good. I want the electrics to be done perfectly. I want the solar to be done excellent. And I want the battery pack to be safe and done. So I'd be very interested in you guys out there. If you have ever thought about buying an EV van at this stage in the early development of the electric van. I'm doing it because I don't want to buy a diesel. Now, you may be asking yourself, Kevin, why don't you go out there and just buy a diesel van and then do a conversion? Well, that's not me, folks. My days of diesel and petrol vehicles are behind me. They're finished, they're gone. I no longer want to pollute this earth with exhaust fumes. I no longer want to spend a fortune in fuel. I no longer want the noise and clackiness of a diesel engine in front of me, especially in a van. I want a bit more refinement. I want future thinking. I want cheap running costs per mile. There'll be solar panels on top. It will be grid free. And so obviously I'll be able to go off grid and not worry about these things. Now, I know there's going to be the purists out there who are going to go, it ain't got the range. The range is not good enough for me. Well, I don't know where you get that from in the UK, because in the UK, most locations, most tourist traps, most towns and cities are within a 30 to 40 mile distance from each other. Okay, so pretty much within 30 or 40 miles, there's always somewhere to go, look, stop, a couple of hours of recreational time, because that's what it's called, a recreational vehicle. Charge it up if there's a charger there and enjoy it. I'm being looked at now. Gear that back to it. So yes, you know, with the 30 or 40 mile distance between towns, cities, tourist traps and whatever, I don't feel there's any more than 100 mile needed per charge. Now, I know for sure I won't be using it in the winter. I'll be putting it away for 3 or 4 months in the winter, hibernating it, covering it up, disconnecting everything like you do a normal RV, and it will be just sitting on my drive. But for the 8 months it will be used in the spring, summer and late autumn, that range from that vehicle should give me around 100 mile if I'm topping it out in speed everywhere I go, to about 140 mile if I take my time and I'm in stop and start traffic a lot. So it's going to be the Fiat, because the Fiat's got the bigger battery and the Fiat has got everything I want. And the top of the range Fiat comes with a lot of little extras that I like. The way they do the touchscreen, the built-in sat nav and everything else. And the electrical side of it, there's even a little screen to your right telling you how your battery's doing, your thermal and everything else. So that's the one I'm going for. So price, you may add. Now, as regard pricing, I've done my homework here. Yes, I'm going to pay more for the electric van than I would do a diesel. But I see it as future-proof. I see it as maybe going into towns and city centres and driving through them with no restriction. It will be tax-free until 2025. So I've got a good nearly 2 years of paying no VED, vehicle excise duty, or road tax as some people call it, here in the UK. I also see it as being an investment, because I know if I go and buy a diesel van now for say 15,000, put another 10 into it to do the conversion, it's going to owe me 25k. Well, if I go out and buy an electric one for say 20k and then put the 10k in it, it's 30. And I would sooner have 30 in something that's future-proof rather than something that at 25k, which is going to start decreasing in value because of it being a diesel. And also, people, if you follow this channel, you will know that KK here doesn't believe in petroleum vehicles unless they are being used for commercial purpose, and that will soon change, but for now we have to live with that. There is no way in the world I was going to have a short wheelbase or a low top van. I didn't fancy cutting out the roof and putting on the old canvas top. That is not me. I want a bit more comfort than that. I want to be enclosed in my own space, and I don't want to up a roof every time just to be able to stand up in the vehicle. So I've found two to look at so far. One is cheaper than the other, but they've both basically got the same mileage, although I have found one a bit more than I want to pay. Ex-demo, it's got 3 miles on it. 3 miles. It is as brand new, and it's virtually half the price. It's 18-month old, but it's just simply not been used. But the one I'm looking at has got 2,000 miles. It's the very light grey colour instead of having a standard white. It's ready to get in there, ready to buy. Problem is, it's up Scotland. Now, Scotland from here is around, where it is in Scotland, is around 300 mile. So I would have to travel 300 mile to go and pick this thing up and 300 mile to come back. So I need someone to go with me in the Tesla, someone who's fully insured to drive the Tesla back, and then bear with me because obviously if I'm coming back down the motorways at the 65 mile an hour, which this thing will top out at, and they do that to conserve energy, I will be charging at least twice on the way down. So it's a full day out, people, maybe a day and a night to go and pick this thing up. And that's the only killer that's holding me back from buying it now as we speak. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, when is this going to happen? Well, it's going to happen as soon as I feel it's right. It ain't going to be this week or next week or even this month. I'm just going to hold back until maybe February time, because also don't forget, folks, I've got my holiday home lodge for sale. If someone wants to know about that, it is on the channel somewhere. You can find it. It's in my lodge life videos. Go check them out. There's at least 12 to watch. It's all about holiday lettings and my lodge and how much I want for it. And it is for sale, so whatever. Now, I've got this to do. So it's a house move as well, like I mentioned in that video I pointed out to, and there it is again. Go check it out. It's what we're going to do for 2024. And also, of course, I've got the American road trip coming up in a Tesla, so look out for that one. Anyway, back to the EV-RV. Okay, price estimates. I do believe all in, done and dusted, with the solar on the roof and the battery pack and all the rest of it, the way I want it, I'm estimating about 10k to do the interior with that's everything. That's the whole shebang. So it's going to owe me around the 30 to 32k done and dusted. Now you're thinking, Kevin, why would you spend that much? Well, I've been out to have a look. Now I've been to dealers. I've been to have a look at a couple of second-hand RV stroke, conversions, and they've not been EVs. From what I've seen, I don't think 32 is out of the way at all. I've seen 1-year-old diesel converted vans, yes, by professional companies, still fetching around 55k. I've seen some new diesels at 79,995. Crazy money. Yes, beautiful inside, been done very, very well, but they're diesels. There is one couple, European couple, who are great, and I'll put them up there. Look, that's their channel. Please go and check them out if you're into what I'm doing or going to go and do. They've already done it, and they've got a few shorts on there, not too many long videos, but they're great to watch because they're good for ideas, and they've done it in an EV van, the same as I'm going to do, and they did it last year, so they beat me to it, and they were one of the first couples I know who have actually done it with an EV into RV van. They have been touring Europe, so things to see, things to prove that they can do, which has made me push forward and go, yeah, look, if they can do it in Europe using all these chargers, and they've gone around country to country, I'm quite sure I can do it here in the UK. So yeah, check them out. So because they've done it, it's pushed me to really wanting to do it. And this is why, again, I'm saying that whatever I do should fetch its money back because of the cost of these pre-manufactured ones. And like I say, I've not seen a full EV for sale apart from one in America, which I think Winnebago's got out for sale now. There's another company, I'll put it up on the screen in a moment. Brand new, they are $170,000 for this year's model, which is just crazy. And and they're based on the Ford chassis and the Ford battery pack, with no more range than I've been talking here. So there's nowhere in the world, in England, you're even going to get. In the UK, I don't know to any full-size EV vans you can go and buy off the shelf already done. I have come across some smaller ones, but they're not for me. I don't want the size of a T5 Volkswagen or a T6 or a Mazda Bongo with a pop-up roof. They do nothing for me whatsoever. And even if I could find an electric one of those, which I have found one, and here's the price of it now. Look, I'll put it on the screen. Yep, that there. These kind of like don't interest me too much because I'm not one for small vans. If I'm going to do it, I want full size. It don't have to be extra long, but I just want the full size van. And I want to be able to turn the seats round to face inwards, you know, towards the van interior, etc, etc. So these smaller ones do nothing for me, but they are out there if someone's interested with pop-up roofs. But me, no, not what I'm after. Well, that completes that part one. Hope you enjoyed it. This should be a long-term thing on the channel once I've got this EV van to suit this one along with the little red one. This will be our third EV. No holding back for me, folks, as you know. So keep with us on this. This is part one of maybe about 30, I guess, over the next 6 months or so. I just hope it comes into fruition now I've started this. We'll see. I normally keep to my word. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, please do. I'm going to get back in now on this lovely winter sunny day and get myself a hot drink and start some more editing and some more videos. So there you go. We'll catch you again. Bye for now.